What if a cancer-linked virus met its match in a stick of chewing gum? No needle, no pill, no hospital visit. Dental researchers pointed chewing gum at one of the biggest viral drivers of a fast-rising cancer. The result? It wiped out 93% of the virus. In the lab. Let that sink in. Here's the cancer we're talking about. Head and neck squamous cell carcinoma. Cancer that takes root in the mouth and throat. And it's way more common than people think. In 2022, cancer of the lip and oral cavity was the 7th leading cancer worldwide, by both new cases and deaths, hitting teenagers, young adults, and middle-aged adults alike. So what's driving it? A virus you already know from somewhere else. HPV, human papillomavirus. You've probably heard of it linked to cervical cancer. There's even a vaccine for that. But HPV doesn't stop there. It can infect the mouth and throat too, usually through ordinary skin-to-skin contact. And over years, it can push healthy cells into growing out of control. Cases linked to oral HPV have been climbing worldwide, even while public attention stays fixed elsewhere. And it gets worse. Once someone has this cancer, 2 harmful bacteria move in and make survival odds worse. Scientists call them Porphyromonas gingivalis and Fusobacterium nucleatum, even in patients who already went through surgery and treatment. So a research team at a dental medicine school reached for something almost nobody would guess. Gum made from lablab beans, a common legume grown for food around the world. The team was led by Dr. Henry Daniel. These beans naturally make a protein called FRIL, and FRIL has antiviral properties. Not a poison that kills everything nearby. Think of it more like a lock-picking tool, shaped to jam a virus's ability to break into new cells. Researchers had studied bean-based gum before in other contexts. This time, they aimed it straight at cancer. They collected saliva and oral rinse samples from patients actively being treated for head and neck cancer. Then they treated those samples with extracts from the gum in a lab setting and watched closely what happened to the HPV and to those 2 harmful bacteria living inside. Here's what they found. The bean gum extract slashed HPV levels by 93% in saliva samples, 80% in oral rinse samples. From a piece of gum, no injections, no infusions, just an extract applied in a lab. Then the team pushed further. They engineered a second version, one that also produced protegrin, a naturally occurring antimicrobial peptide that kills bacteria on contact. Add protegrin, and a single dose of gum extract knocked both harmful bacteria down to almost nothing. Same kind of samples, same striking result. But here's the detail that actually surprised the researchers most. The gum didn't touch the mouth's helpful bacteria. It left them alone. That matters, because some existing cancer treatments do the opposite. Radiation therapy, for instance, can wipe out good bacteria while accidentally clearing the way for a harmful yeast called Candida albicans to take over. This gum, by contrast, looks selective. Hit the threats, spare the neighbors. Cancer drugs and cancer treatments are the real reason this matters beyond the raw numbers. Dr. Daniel points out something sobering. Many newly approved cancer drugs haven't meaningfully improved patients' quality of life or long-term survival. And progress on head and neck cancer specifically has crawled. A treatment built from gum, grown from beans, could be dramatically cheaper and easier to get into people's hands than an injectable drug or a hospital-administered therapy that needs a clinic, refrigeration, and trained staff, especially in places without easy access to advanced cancer care. Gum needs none of that. It's shelf-stable, no needle required, and everyone already knows how to use it, no instructions needed. Researchers say it could work 2 ways down the line: as an add-on to existing cancer treatments, helping patients already fighting the disease, or as prevention, lowering the amount of virus and harmful bacteria someone carries and might otherwise pass on without ever knowing it. Now, the part that matters most. Let's keep this real. This was not a clinical trial where people chewed gum and researchers tracked what happened inside their bodies. It was what scientists call an ex vivo study. Samples of saliva and oral rinse, taken from patients, then treated with gum extracts afterward, in test tubes and lab dishes. Not inside anyone's actual mouth, over time. So here's the plain truth. Nobody has been treated with this gum yet. There's no approved product, no prescription, nothing on a store shelf. The researchers themselves say the next step is real clinical trials, and that step hasn't happened. So file this under strong, promising early signal. Not a finished cure. Not yet. Big difference between worked in a dish and worked in you. And science has to prove both before anyone hands you a pack of this gum at a pharmacy counter. For a doctor to ever recommend this, it has to survive actual clinical trials. Give the gum to real patients over time and check that it's safe. Nail down the right dose. Confirm the effect holds up outside a lab dish. Only after all of that could regulators even consider approving it. That process typically takes years, not months. But the underlying idea, a cheap, natural plant protein trained to target one specific virus and two specific bacteria, while leaving the rest of your mouth's microbes untouched, is exactly the kind of low-cost, high-precision approach researchers are getting excited about, especially for cancers that disproportionately hit people with the least access to advanced medical care. So no, you can't walk into a pharmacy and buy cancer-fighting gum today. But the team behind this study now has real evidence, from real patient samples, that a cheap piece of gum can dramatically cut levels of a cancer-linked virus, plus the bacteria that make that cancer harder to survive, all while leaving the mouth's healthy bacteria completely alone. If that holds up in actual clinical trials, one of the biggest tools against a fast-rising cancer might end up costing about as much as a pack of gum. So tell me, what everyday object do you think scientists should test against a disease next?